Welcome to a transformative exploration of how changing your mindset can dramatically alter your life's trajectory. Often we find ourselves in the hustle of day-to-day tasks, pushing hard, and yet somehow we feel stuck, as if our efforts are not yielding the results we hope for. Today, we dive into a different approach, one that focuses less on relentless doing and more on the art of receiving. In our lives, the concept of attraction versus action can seem counterintuitive. We are taught from a young age that success is the result of hard work and persistent effort. But what if there's another layer to this truth? What if focusing on our mental state and what we attract could lead to success faster than any amount of forced effort? This approach doesn't discard the value of action, but suggests a balance where our state of mind plays a critical role. By understanding and applying the power of attraction, we can open doors to opportunities and successes that align more harmoniously with our goals and desires. Let's consider two approaches to achieving goals. The first approach is the one most of us are familiar with: the struggle. This involves setting a goal, planning the steps, and pushing through obstacles with sheer willpower. It's characterized by tension, stress, and often a feeling of fighting against the world. There's an underlying belief that success is hard-won, a product of struggle and endurance. In contrast, the second approach is about ease and receptivity. Here, the focus shifts from doing to receiving. Imagine setting a goal, but instead of laboring through every step, you align your mindset to your desired outcome. You maintain a positive outlook, open yourself to opportunities, and trust that the right circumstances will come your way. This doesn't mean you're passive. Rather, you're actively creating a mental and emotional environment where opportunities can appear. In this second approach, there's a sense of flow and alignment. Instead of battling uphill, you're walking a path that feels natural and unforced. Stress levels are lower, and there's an overarching sense of being in tune with a larger, more cooperative force. It's like sailing with the wind rather than against it. But how do we transition from the first approach to the second? How do we shift from struggle to receptivity? The first step is understanding that this shift begins in the mind. It involves changing our beliefs about how success is achieved and reevaluating our role in the process of making things happen. To accept this new approach, one must first accept that it's possible to achieve goals with a mindset focused on receiving. It requires trust, a trust in oneself and in the process. This trust doesn't come overnight. It builds as we gradually change our thinking and experience small successes that reinforce the power of our new mindset. The mentor's philosophy centers on the belief that our internal state, our thoughts, emotions, and attitudes, has the power to influence our external circumstances. This concept might seem mystical at first, but it is supported by countless anecdotes and experiences where individuals have seen significant changes in their lives by shifting their focus from action to attraction. This shift does not negate the need for action. Rather, it enhances the actions we take, making them more effective. When we operate from a state of tension and desperation, our actions may be frantic or misdirected. But when we operate from a state of openness and expectancy, our actions are more purposeful and aligned with our goals. The mentor teaches that this alignment creates a smoother path for achieving our desires, as we are no longer swimming against the current, but rather moving with it. The philosophy advocates for a calm, confident approach to life's challenges and opportunities. It encourages us to remain open to possibilities and to trust that the right opportunities will come at the right time. This approach requires patience and faith. Patience to wait for the right opportunities and faith that they will indeed come. Upon being introduced to this new philosophy, the protagonist, initially skeptical, decides to put this theory to the test in a small, controlled aspect of their life. This experiment is crucial because it represents the first practical application of the philosophy of receiving. It's a safe, low-risk environment where the protagonist can observe the outcomes without significant consequences. The protagonist chooses a goal that they have previously struggled to achieve through traditional methods. Instead of taking the usual route of planning every detail and exerting force to ensure execution, they shift their approach. They focus on visualizing the successful completion of the goal, maintaining a positive outlook, and preparing to seize opportunities as they come. They combine this mental preparation with measured, calm actions that are necessary but not forceful. The outcome of this experiment is surprisingly positive. Where there was once resistance and struggle, there is now a smoother progression towards the goal. Opportunities that were previously unseen now appear clear and attainable. This initial success provides the protagonist with a tangible example of the mentor's philosophy in action, shifting their skepticism towards cautious optimism. This experiment serves as a critical turning point. It demonstrates that the philosophy of receiving is not merely theoretical, but can be applied with real, observable results. The protagonist's mindset begins to change, and they start to see the potential of this new way of thinking in larger aspects of their life. As we move forward in our exploration, we will delve into the broader applications of this philosophy. We will examine how accepting a mindset focused on receiving, rather than solely on making things happen, can lead to greater successes in various areas of life, including personal relationships, career development, and personal well-being. Each step forward reinforces the powerful shift from doing to receiving, illustrating that sometimes the best way to achieve our goals is to attract them towards us rather than chasing them down. The law of attraction is not just about wishing for something and expecting it to appear. It's about aligning your mental and emotional state to resonate with what you desire. This alignment creates a magnetic effect, pulling circumstances, people, and opportunities toward you that match your state of being. It's like tuning a radio to your favorite station. When you adjust the frequency correctly, you receive clear and strong signals. For the protagonist, this understanding begins to crystallize as they observe more instances where positive outcomes correlate strongly with a receptive, positive mindset. They learn that this law works consistently, much like gravity, always in effect, whether or not you are aware of it. The key lies in harnessing this law consciously, choosing thoughts and feelings that support one's goals. This concept is demonstrated through daily practices such as visualization, affirmations, and mindfulness. These practices help maintain a high frequency of positivity and expectation, which in turn attracts positive results. The protagonist begins to apply these methods, focusing on maintaining a calm and expectant demeanor, which further attracts opportunities and eases the path toward their goals. Despite the initial successes, the protagonist faces a significant challenge that shakes their newfound belief in the law of attraction. This challenge could be a setback in their career or a personal project that stalls despite their positive outlook. It's a common point in the journey where old habits and doubts creep back in, tempting them to revert to the old ways of forceful action and control. This internal conflict is a crucial phase in their transformation. The protagonist grapples with doubts and the temptation to dismiss their recent experiences as mere coincidences. This struggle highlights a critical lesson. Adopting a new mindset is not a one-time change, but a continual process of growth and reinforcement. To navigate through this turmoil, the protagonist revisits the mentor's teachings and reflects on their previous successes achieved through this new approach. They engage in deep introspection to understand why they feel tempted to revert and how they can strengthen their trust in the law of attraction. The mentor provides guidance, emphasizing the importance of persistence and consistency in applying the new principles, especially when faced with adversity. Through this process, the protagonist realizes that overcoming doubts doesn't mean never having them. Instead, it means acknowledging the doubts and choosing to trust in the new approach despite them. This realization marks a pivotal point in their journey, reinforcing their commitment to the philosophy of receiving. They decide to continue accepting this approach, using the setback as an opportunity to deepen their understanding and refine their application of the law of attraction. As we move forward, we will see how this renewed commitment transforms not only the protagonist's circumstances, but also their overall quality of life. They begin to experience a profound alignment with their desires, leading to more significant achievements and a more fulfilling life path, illustrating the true power of shifting from a mindset of making things happen to one of allowing them to happen. With a strengthened resolve, the protagonist faces a major life decision that tests their commitment to the philosophy of receiving. Instead of reacting hastily or forcing a solution, they apply what they've learned, focusing on maintaining a state of openness and expectancy. They engage in regular practices that reinforce their new mindset: daily meditation, journaling their thoughts and progress, and visualizing successful outcomes. As they navigate this period, they begin to notice a significant change in how events unfold around them. Opportunities that perfectly align with their needs and aspirations start appearing with less effort. Relationships become more supportive and enriching. Even in the face of potential setbacks, they find that solutions present themselves almost effortlessly. This phase is crucial in demonstrating the practical benefits of their new approach, not just in isolated instances, but consistently across various aspects of life. Their commitment to this new way of thinking also leads to better personal well-being. Freed from the constant stress of forcing outcomes, they experience greater peace and happiness. This shift not only affects their personal and professional life, but also starts influencing their interactions with others. They become a source of positive energy, attracting like-minded individuals and inspiring those around them to reconsider their own approaches to life's challenges. This transformation and results marks a culmination of the protagonist's journey from skepticism to full acceptance and mastery of the law of attraction. As they continue to apply this philosophy consistently, the changes in their life become more pronounced and impactful. Their career takes a leap forward as they attract significant projects and collaborations that resonate with their passions and skills. Their relationships deepen, marked by genuine connections and mutual growth. Their overall quality of life improves dramatically, characterized by a deep sense of fulfillment and purpose. The transformation is not just internal, but becomes evident to all around them. People start seeking them out for advice and guidance, noticing the calm certainty with which they now approach life. The protagonist realizes that their success is not a series of lucky breaks, but the result of a deliberate and conscious decision to align their thoughts and energies with their desires. They also understand that this is not the end, but a continuous journey. The practice of attracting, rather than relentlessly pursuing, needs to be nurtured continually. This understanding brings them to a point where they are ready to give back, to share what they have learned with others. Now recognized as a figure of inspiration, the protagonist begins to impact others around them. They share their journey openly, discussing not only the successes, but also the struggles and doubts they overcame. This openness makes their story relatable and powerful, encouraging others to explore the possibility of adopting a similar mindset. The protagonist starts informal sessions, perhaps workshops or small group discussions, where they teach the principles of the law of attraction. They focus on the importance of mindset, the power of positive thinking, and how to align one's life with one's desires effectively. The impact of these sessions is immediate and profound. Participants report changes in their own lives, from small wins in daily interactions to significant shifts in their professional paths and personal relationships. This ripple effect does not stop with direct interactions. Those who have learned from the protagonist begin to apply these teachings in their own lives, creating further ripples that reach communities and networks beyond the protagonist's immediate circle. This expanding influence underscores a key aspect of the philosophy. Positivity and a mindset geared toward receiving have the power to transform not just individual lives, but entire communities. While we wrap up this enlightening journey, it becomes clear that the essence of true success lies not in ceaseless striving, but in gracefully receiving. By shifting our focus from exerting force to cultivating an open, receptive state, we can attract a life rich with opportunities and personal fulfillment. This philosophy, as demonstrated through our protagonist's transformative experience, is not just a series of steps, but a sustainable way of living that enhances every facet of our existence. Let us take forward this knowledge, applying it in our lives and sharing it with others, so that we may all thrive together in a world where success is not just about achieving goals, but about living in harmony with our deepest desires and potentials.